Item 11, discussion and possible action regarding approving appointments, reappointments to the following boards, committees, and commissions. Item A, Keep Friendswood Beautiful, appointment of Justin Stolpenall, pretty close, to fill the unexpired term of Frank Garza, who resigned with a term expiring November 2021, and appointment of Brent Bell to fill the unexpired term of Chiquita Taylor, who resigned with a term expiring November 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Is Brent here also? Justin's here. Justin, I always see you with Ashley. I'm not spreading any rumors, but I know you guys are affiliated with Pony League, so I know the connection. That might be awkward. We do. So all in favor? Okay, that was easy. All right, item 13, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of an amended and restated cost-sharing agreement relating to the 42-inch southeast transmission line. Motion and a second. Renee, looks like you're going to give us some updates.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Council and Mayor. Before you is the consideration for approval for the amended, restated cost-sharing agreement. If you recall, this agreement came before some of you in 2016, but this is an amended version of that. It's that as the City of Friendswood, we're one of the co-parts for the Southeast Water Purification Plant. This line in itself is a transmission line that is one of two transmission lines that comes to our City of Friendswood. This is for the replacement of the 42-inch. We're one of 8 co-parts on this line, and what this does is it's an agreement that goes from phase 1 to phase 2 and 3. Phase 2, which will be also for the, as far as the design, the engineering related to it, and then phase 3 creeps into construction. This has the proposed amounts. It's an estimated amounts right now for construction. Our portion of this is roughly $12.5 million, and it's broken up into different cash calls, this one being for this year for us.
And just as a reminder for Mayor and Council, we talked about this at length during the utility rates discussion. This was one of the main drivers for those rates. This is our main surface water line into the City of Friendswood that supplies all of our drinking water.
Thanks, Renee. Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor? Is that everybody? Unanimous? A few arms were blocked there. We don't want to be like Flint. Okay, item 14, discussion and possible action regarding assisting the Friendswood Pony Baseball League with the installation of field netting at Renwick Park.
I make a move. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Carl, thanks for bringing this group to us and discussing this.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what Alyssa mentioned before. I was at their board meeting last month, and I'm listening to a discussion where they already committed over $100,000 into maintenance and improvements into the fields for this year, but they were still short some money, and they were actually having a debate about whether we do this fencing or this netting project or this netting project, and do we protect mom and grandma walking into the park, or do we look after the 7-year-olds back here? And I thought it might be a good idea if we could chip in and help out and make sure everybody's safe. This is a safety issue. It's a safety issue that's associated with the growth of the league. I believe they've got 18 T-ball teams this year. This was the number I heard. I guess we're somewhat to blame here in the city, and that growth of the city has led to growth of the league, and a couple improvements that they need to make. So I'm going to support it.
I'd just like to comment that that's where I started volunteering for the community like 12 years ago, was on the Little League Board of Directors. And so unless you've been involved or you've had kids go through it, the Little League Baseball Organization, or now the Pony League Baseball Organization, really is, the example that I think all youth sports organizations in our community would like to follow and should follow, and that You know, we never, ever, I don't think anybody has any idea the amount of funds that Little League Baseball expends on public property. It's a city park. And I can remember when, was it Allison or whatever that came through? We had press boxes knocked down that were completely rebuilt through volunteers and funding that Little League, that we had gathered as Little League. And so everything that you see at that park, for the most part, is maintained by them. Everything that you see, the improved batting cages, the pitching lanes, the warm-up lanes outside of the fields, all of that stuff has been provided by that group. And so it actually lessens the burden on the taxpayers because the people that are utilizing the field are paying to maintain the fields. And it meets their needs. And I think that not enough, credit, or recognition is given to you guys and what y'all do out there. So I just personally wanted to say thank you for continuing what I happened to be a part of 12 years ago. And before that, I played there 40 years ago. So it's a great organization. It's just a great deal. And the city should be very, very proud of what our Little League youth sports baseball program has done for our community. So thank you guys for what you do.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm 100% supportive. We've done this with other sports leagues. We've paid for stuff, and this is a great thing to invest in the community. I do have one question. Would this come out of the over 90-day fund?
This would,
Do you have funds available?
the over 90-day fund, yes, general fund balance.
I also agree with everything that John said. My husband and I volunteered 30-something years ago with that, but I happen to be a ball magnet. Any sporting event I attend, a loose ball, foul ball finds me, and I will be out there with a grandchild, so I'm very thankful for this personally. So I definitely support it, and thank you for all your work.
Yeah, I'll just end up maybe and say this was kind of an easy one to get behind as a council. Now, for those of you that don't know, we do have this agreement with Pony League now that they use Renwick Park, but they also, in order to use it, they provide most of the upkeep and maintenance and all that stuff. But when you read their spreadsheet and see that this year the league is investing $132,000 worth of what do you call them? Upgrades, improvements, safety-related things, and they're $29,000 short to do something that they really need for safety. It was kind of easy to say, yeah, we need to do that because you guys are putting so much work and effort and your own funding into that it's easy to get behind. So with that, all in favor? All right. Moving on, resolutions. I saw it, yeah. Sometimes Sally blocks you, I don't know.
On purpose.
Yeah,
Only when she wants to.
only wish it was, yeah.
Oh, I should be offended by that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Resolution 2019-05, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Friendswood, Texas, authorizing and approving the 2019 Homeland Security Grant Program application.
Second.
Motion and a second. You want to tell us what nano drones are, Brian?
They're actually
small
interior.
drones, huh?
Well, they're interior drones. So basically, we have the grant application. We meet with the fire department, police department, public works, parks to come up with projects. One of the projects was to come up with interior drones that would help identify suspects or folks that are in an interior building. And also, it would keep harm away from officers being the first ones there. So it's a project that everybody was in support of. So we're working on the application right now.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Okay, resolution R 2019-06, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Friendswood, Texas, authorizing and approving the 2019 Homeland Security Grant Program application.
Motion
Mobile
to
camera
approve.
system.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second.
And this one's for a mounted camera trailer system. I know the city manager mentioned earlier we were having some spot problems at some of the parks. This could be used at parks or at events or anything that we need to help deter issues. So it's another project that the group was in support of.
Sounds good. Question, discussion, all in favor? Thanks, Brian. You gonna have a different shirt tomorrow? I don't want to see Deputy Fire Marshal anymore. All right, resolution 2019-07, a resolution of the City of Friendswood regarding tax assessment and collection services. Have a motion? Motion and a second.
Real quick, Mayor and Council, this is a formality that we entered into an interlocal agreement with Galveston County in 2018 under a certain set of prices. The county's been able to reduce those per parcel prices for the Galveston County side of the city as well as the Harris County side of the city, and has asked for a resolution reflecting those changes.
Okay, and remind us, how long are we on contract with Galveston County?
It ends in July 31st of 2021.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Getting cheaper tax assessments? Okay, great. Resolution 2019-08, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Friendswood, Texas, designating the mayor as the city's representative in seeking eligible grant funds under the Emergency Federal Law Enforcement Assistance Grant Program and authorizing the submission of such grant application to the Criminal Justice Division of the Office of the Governor. Motion?
Second.
Motion and a second.
Just a quick explanation for Mayor and Council. Following the tragedy that took place May of 2018 at Santa Fe High School, our police department increased their presence at all local schools, both in Friendswood ISD as well as CCISD, and we incurred quite a bit of overtime costs for doing that service. Thankfully, both school districts helped split that cost and share some of the burden of that activity. The state recently announced a grant to reimburse us for those costs, and we're applying for those funds. Based on the funding that we get back, we'll give the school district their pro rata share back.
Thank you. All in favor? Great. Moving down to ordinances. Ordinance number 2019-05, second and final reading of an ordinance amending Appendix C zoning, Section 8, supplementary district regulations, subsection I, landscaping and screening requirements. I have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? 5-2. Okay, ordinance number 2019-06, second and final reading of an ordinance amending Appendix C zoning, Section 7.5, Community Overlay District, subsection 3, screening, subsection D, refuge storage areas, dumpsters, and all related activities. I have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? 5-2. Ordinance number T, 2019-07, second and final reading of an ordinance amending Appendix B subdivisions, Section 4, parkland dedication, subsection F, additional requirements, subsection 2, guidelines used in designing parks and adjacent development, adding subsection G, identifying impervious cover requirements for the open space area. All in favor? Sorry, let me get a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? 5-2. Let's see. Ordinance 2019-08, second and final reading of an ordinance amending the zoning classification for a tract or parcel containing 1.91 acres located at 104 Whispering Pines Avenue, Friendswood, Texas, by granting a zone classification change from single-family residential to downtown district. Motion and a second. All in favor? 7-0. Okay, ordinance 2019-10, first reading of an ordinance amending the zoning
Mayor.
classification.
I don't think we have a recommendation yet on
Okay, let's hold on.
remaining
Thank
items.
you. Just reading away. Let me jump down then to G, ordinance number T, 2019-12, first and final reading of an ordinance adopting Budget Amendment 5 to the original general budget of the city for fiscal year 2018-2019. Motion to approve. Motion and a second. All in favor? 7-0. You want to jump down or you want to do communications? We can do communications. Communications from the mayor and council. Start with you, Carl.
Had the opportunity to attend the Texas Music Fest put on by the Friends of Downtown Friendswood this weekend, or this Saturday. Lovely time, nice crowd, and I hope those of you made it out to enjoy it, and those of you who didn't, I'm going to do it again next year. It'll be the 5th year. At least I hope they are. That's the plans, and it was a very, very good time, well attended. That's really about all I've got right now.
Thanks, Carl. Mayor Pro Tem Scott. Councilmember Griffon, talk about your campaign.
No, I just wanted to thank MORAD and the city staff for getting all of this information to us a full week in advance of this meeting. I really do appreciate that. That really takes a load off of Sunday for me. And I'd just like to mention that I believe virtually all of us will be going to Austin on March the 6th, on Wednesday. And we're going to try to get as much face time as we can with all the representatives at the state level to see if we can get them to help us with some of the problems that we have with our Clear Creek watershed and Sugar Creek, Cowards Creek, Marys Creek. We really need to get in front of them, and we know that y'all are frustrated, and please know that we're frustrated too. So we're working for you, and we're working as hard as we can to get in front of them, as many people as we can, to get some help on that Clear Creek watershed.
Councilmember Sally.
I just want to say congrats again to Brian Mansfield. I'm super happy for him. 18 years already, so he knows the culture, he knows the job. I'm very excited about that, so thank you. Congrats, Brian.
Steve.
Well, first I'd like to congratulate Councilman Griffon for being unopposed, and so we'll see you up here for a couple more years. Just wanted to let you know that I have been elected the second vice president, see if I get this right, the Texas Association of Mayors, Council Members, and Commissioners, which is an affiliate of the TML. It's not a position I applied for. I got told to apply for something else by the mayor, and I wasn't even there that day, and they switched and elected me this. So I don't, but you can all bow. I'm a second vice president.
The cream rises, Steve, you know. Anything else? Well, I just kind of echo what Robert Griffon said about going to Austin. I made that trip last week with a group of mayors that we have been collaborating with around Clear Lake. Mostly all the mayors in this region have been working together, and we kind of marched up there to Austin and had a chance to visit with a bunch of members, and it was very productive. I came back being glad that one, that I went, but secondly, glad that I don't have to make the drive to Austin very often. So it was good, and I'm glad that you guys are getting ready to go up and do that Wednesday. I think it'll be very productive. So thank you for doing that.
I'll be driving Sally's SUV.
Okay.
And I'll be riding shotgun.
Okay.
And I'll be taking a nap in the back.
Okay.
I doubt it.
And I'm going to ride in Carl's car.
Drive safely so you all come back.
Secondly, I wanted to remind everybody or mention to everybody that tomorrow we're kicking off our Citizens Advisory Team to look at the potential of holding a bond election this fall. Up on the screen, if you watch, there are some of the things that the 2013 bond election supported and voters voted on, and now we have here in Friendswood, new fire station, library. You saw the library improvements. So we had over 40 people already volunteer to sit on this team. We're going to kick it off tomorrow night. We'll get a lot of people involved and let the citizens of Friendswood talk and figure out what they feel like the city needs if we do need an upcoming bond election, what we need. So there's Lake Friendswood. Great stuff. Thanks for putting this together, Jeff. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I think it was a very successful bond campaign back in 2013. We'd like to kind of run it the way that they ran it back then and get citizen involvement, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what they recommend to us, and we'll move forward on it. So that's all I wanted to say. Rod?
Moving back to ordinances, we do have a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission on item E under ordinances.
Item E.
They voted unanimously recommending in favor of the project.
Okay, let me read that one again. Ordinance T 2019-10, first reading of an ordinance amending the zoning classification for a tract or parcel containing 1.8864 acres located at 1 Hatcher Lane, Friendswood, Texas, by granting a zone classification change from community shopping center to downtown district.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Item F is still being discussed at length. I don't anticipate getting a recommendation this evening.
Sounds good. Okay, we'll move down to item 18, the consent agenda. I'll let Councilmember Rocky.
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion and pull item D off the consent agenda.
Okay, do I
I'd like
got
to make the motion for all of them other than D.
D?
D is in dog.
I'll second that motion.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor of everything but D? All right, for item D, I have a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion for
Oh.
item D.
I'll second
Second.
the motion. Want to talk about,
Let me explain this one.
please do.
We're going to change around the meeting next month. Our meeting next month is on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, but nonetheless, we're going to put all the rest of the agenda up front, and we're going to start the workshop period at 7 o'clock. And the reason we're going to do that is because the Drainage Subcommittee is going to be reporting out the majority of their recommendations at that time. And we want to have plenty of time, and we wanted to have it at a time that most of the public could attend. So with the mayor's permission, we've reshuffled it around so that at 7, we'll be doing the workshop item on the drainage, so we have enough time. And like I said, there's people can get off work and come in at 10.
I think it's a great plan. We got a motion and a second. All in favor? Adjourned.